I'm Kathy Gould. I have been in the horse business my whole life. I started out riding some backyard horses and doing the play days, and then I got into hunters and jumpers and did that for a while, and then transitioned to the cow horses. My dad's been in the car business my whole life, and he had done some trading and brought home a pony when I was about 4 years old that you would get on, buy your kid a pony, what a great idea. You'd get on and ask her to go forward, she'd be in the air. So why I still ride horses? Not real sure with that experience. I've got some pictures. My mom said when I first was just learning to toddle around, I would go out back and push her old horse up against the fence and then crawl up on the fence, and there's pictures of me sitting on this horse. So I guess it's just kind of in my blood, something I've continued to do and love. And I've, as a youth, had a lot of success. Back in the day when there was 40 of us going up and down the road in the youth classes, that there was 2 age groups. Went on and rode as a non-pro for several years with the cow horses, and was top five like 5 out of 6 years at Snaffle Bit Futurity. Went to school at Fresno State, and that's where I met Carl. And then after we got married in 1989, won the non-pro division of the Snaffle Bit Futurity. So that was pretty much the career highlight. First husband and wife to win the open and the non-pro in the same year, back when that's what it was. There wasn't a level 4, level 3, intermediate, all that stuff. Last several years, well, about 20 years ago, I turned in my non-pro cards and started training for the public alongside of Carl. I'm one that really likes to go show. Been told I show one well. Carl doesn't enjoy in the arena as much as he used to. He'd rather train him and make him, and he's so good at that. So it worked out to be a really good partnership, along with an excellent marriage 30 years later. Several years ago, I'd gotten more involved with the AQHA end of things, and 2 years ago, I believe it was, made the finals in the cutting and in the ranch riding on the same horse, a little stud that belongs to a gal out in California. So that was, I didn't realize how special it was at the time until right after it had happened, and I thought, wow, that's something that probably won't get done again, just because of the difference in the horses. But he was so broke. Carl trained him from the beginning. He was just a broke little guy that did it all. So when that ranch riding came to be and my owner wanted to show, I thought, well, let's see if he'll do this. And he did, and he did it well. And I miss him. We wish he'd have come and made the move with us back here to Oklahoma. We moved back here in January of this year, and it's been a good deal. A really special little horse that I will always remember, because he came kind of with problems, so to speak, was a smart little Lena gelding that Carl had in training, that was just, near and dear to our hearts, just because he was special and he had to overcome some things, and he did. So probably little Buck Lena might go to the top of that list for memorable horses. And I don't think I ever did anything at the time but lope circles on him, because I was still a non-pro. But with the breeding nowadays, there is so many great horses out there that just have to have the right avenue to go to. There can be great horses, and then if you want to compare them to good horses, a lot of times if that good horse just has a little bit more grit to it, or a little bit more, want to is not the word, more of a pleasing attitude, that they want to please you more, they will end up doing better than that horse that's just by great being super athletic and just, not so much bred well, but that athleticism that the breeding brings. But one that wants to please and wants to try, wants to be there with you. My favorite thing about a horse, probably just their kind nature, because they really are. They really want to be. Even, you get some studs that you have to be, careful around, obviously, because they are a stallion, but they all have that kind nature. Probably the Snaffle Bit Futurity. That's a pretty big accolade in one's career, one's life, because it just doesn't happen every day. So that was a really special win, and one that'll always be remembered. And there's just so much history and trivia and everything else that goes into it for us. Our 6-month anniversary and him riding Napaloosa and all the good things that memory will be around for a long time. I think the biggest thing we try to get with is consistency. You have to have that consistency with them. You have to really enjoy the animal and the lifestyle. But we've come out here to not have to ride 20 head of horses, to be able to just ride a few, and it's a conscious decision, to not have the assistants and everyone running around. But I think so long as you stay consistent, you have to be kind to them, and love what you do. I think you just have to have a good work ethic. You have to go out there and make sure it gets done and make sure you do it, and you have to want to do it. That gets a little hard sometimes. You'll always get something in your program that you don't maybe really like that horse that much, but you better put that aside and treat it the same as all of them. I have slowed down on the training end of it just because my other little side business that I started several years ago is taken off, and I'm just not home very much on the weekends during the key, spring and fall runs. But it all works, and you got to love your life and love the lifestyle. Lots of hours in the saddle. You've got to get out there and ride. You've got to love it. You've got to want to do it. You can't just, if you decide, well, I'm going to go try such and such, go try it. And then if it's just not your cup of tea, you're wasting your time on it. So make sure you love it, find something you're passionate about. And there are ups and downs, and you might go to the house crying the day or 2 or 3 in a row, and that's kind of part of it. Don't give up. If it's something you really like and you really want, you can persevere. That's what this American way of life's all about. We're allowed to.